Okay, my name is Jeffrey Gambler. Today's date is November 3rd, 2014. I have with me Sam Consiglio. Sam, would you please identify yourself and spell your last name?
My name is Sam Consiglio, C-O-N-S-I-G-L-I-O.
And your hospital identification number?
1555-2.
Okay, and today, do you consent to being recorded?
Yes, I do.
You consent to being recorded at this time?
Yes.
I can't hear you, Sam.
Yes, I do consent to be recorded.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, just for history purposes, Mr. Consiglio is 68 years old, and you have a heart condition. You have a pacemaker, correct?
Yes, I have a defibrillator pacemaker.
Okay, and you were previously treated by Dr. Sandu in Fresno, Bakersfield?
In Clovis.
Clovis, okay. And suffered a heart condition on September 6th, and you were taken
September
Fresno.
5th.
It was determined
September 5th.
Excuse me?
September the 5th.
You're taking. Okay, and you're taking to Fresno September 6th. And we were talking
September the 5th.
More recent events. September 5th. And then it was determined that a triple bypass was not indicated at that time. And then you're studied by a Dr. Doria, D-O-R-I-A, a surgeon in San Luis Obispo. Can you just bring us up to date real quickly?
Gambler, you need me to leave a statement. You got the facts all wrong.
Go ahead.
On September the 5th, I was taken to Fresno. They wanted to do an emergency bypass. I refused. I wanted to talk to my wife and family. I went back to the Coalinga to talk to my wife and family. And in the process, I wanted to get a second opinion. And that second opinion, after that second opinion took place, it was decided to send me to San Luis Obispo. And the doctors in the Central Valley in San Luis Obispo determined that I was high risk for a triple bypass. And we were trying to find somebody to do a stent instead. And Dr. Hamrick had a hard time finding someone to do a stent in my case. And then he did find Dr. Doria willing to do it. So Dr. Doria was agreeable to do...
D-O-R-I-A, correct?
That's correct. He was agreeable to do the stent, and at least one. And when he went in, he realized the other two arteries were not... it was not possible to do stents. And so he said it was not possible to do a bypass as well. And he did say that my heart is very, very weak.
Okay, now jumping ahead here. Now you went out for that stent surgery last Friday. What was the date of that Friday?
November 1st.
November 1st. Okay, now
yes.
That's where I want to talk about that. Under your transportation from Coalinga State Hospital to French Hospital in San Luis Obispo, that's approximately two and a half hours, correct?
Right. I was taken by Officer Brumball, and I was taken by Officer Chavez.
Officer Brumball,
B-R-U-M-B-A-U-G-H,
and Officer Chavez.
Chavez, C-H-A-V-E-Z.
Okay. Now you were assigned what's called a level of care escort, correct?
Yeah, she identified herself as Jessica. She works registry.
Jessica. She works registry. Now, please tell me what happened during that transport as quickly as you can, and what happened in terms of the interactions as quickly as you can.
I was trying to talk to her on the way to San Luis Obispo, and the officer Brumball told her that she did not have to talk to me. And I told her that he's wrong about that. I'm the one that requested level of care, and my request was granted by the administration. So you do have to talk to me. You're there for my protection from abuse from the officers. That's what your purpose was for. And so that no more was said. Until we got to the... Why don't you just let me talk, and I'll cover everything. When we got to the French hospital, we got into the area where they were going to prep me for the procedure, and Officer Brumbaugh, he was still mad at me for speaking up, so he chained me tightly to the gurney, and I protested that fact. I said, we're not in the hallway. I'm not a safety and security threat. He didn't need to chain me up like this. And there was another patient from Coalinga. He only had one leg chained. And I pointed that out. And he says that, well, he's going in for surgery. And I said, well, so am I. That was Lance Purcell. He only had one leg chained. And I was pointing that out to my level of care staff. And the level of care staff said that, well, he's acting a lot nicer than you are. And so, anyway, so everything was fine until later we got to, during the procedure, the level of care staff, Jessica, I think that's her name, Jessica. Yeah, Jessica, she took off with the cop, the officer, Chavez. During the procedure, she was not available. She went to the snack bar or whatever for 4 hours, and she never came back until I was up in the room. And
let me ask you a question. How did you find out if you were in surgery asleep? How did you know she was gone for 4 hours? And I don't mean to rush you.
They don't put you to sleep during surgery. Oh, you're just relaxed.
Okay. And I don't mean to rush you, Mr. Consiglio. We're trying to keep this file short so we can email it, and we're limited to about 10 minutes.
Right.
So
you just let me talk, and I'll make it real short. But they don't put you to sleep. You're just in a relaxed state. And so I'm very alert. The only person that was in that room was Brumbaugh during the whole procedure. Then afterwards, they took me up to my room around 2 p.m. And then they come up, laughing and giggling from the cafeteria. And they were the ones that told me they were down there all that time. And I had to use the bathroom real bad. And Brumbaugh refused to let me use the bathroom in private. And he says that it's not allowed. And I know that's not true because I've been going out on medical appointments for 7 years, and they've never done that to me ever.
I need to ask you a question, Mr. Consiglio. I need to interrupt you in terms of the bathroom. Was it a secure bathroom in terms of his intention to disturb you? Would you have been able to go out a window or anything like that? Was it on second floor or anything like that?
No, there was no windows or nothing. It was a secure bathroom.
And you just come out of surgery, and he insisted on observing you.
Yeah, still coming. And
so I just want to remind you, we want to email this audio file out to different people.
No, he was doing this as part of his retaliation towards me.
Okay, I understand.
So when the nurse came in. When the nurse came in to see me, I had a chance to whisper to her that I was being abused by the officer, and she must have made a phone call because it wasn't long after that these officers got a phone call saying that they were being relieved and that
this is a nurse at French Hospital. I need to make some clarification for you, Mr. Consiglio. This is a nurse that works for French Hospital, correct?
Yeah, she was working at a French hospital, And
okay, please excuse my interruption.
I can't remember her name. She was an elderly nurse.
Okay.
She was an elderly nurse, and I told her I was having problems.
It's very important that I clarify, Mr. Consiglio. I need to clarify some points here for the people that are listening to this. They don't know some of the facts, so please excuse my interruptions. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the officers were mad because they were planning to work till midnight, but instead they had to go home in the afternoon. And they were being taken over by CMC officers. And so,
so you're being
when the
covered by
CMC officers got there,
that's California Men's Colony. So California Men's Colony officers were covering you, but the officers that transfer you, Brumbaugh, he works for Pleasant Valley, or Pleasant Valley's just transportation for CDCR. It's very important that we make these clarifications for the people who are listening to this, people in the legislature.
I don't know the names of the ones from California.
For my interruption.
This is kind of a very important point. But when they got there to relieve him, Brumbaugh took the guy in the hallway and told him something. So then after Brumbaugh left,
that was Les Purcell.
I had the officer come over to me, and I asked him point blank. I asked him, what did Brumbaugh just tell you before he left? He told me to make your life as miserable as I could. And I said, I knew that. I just wanted to hear from you, though.
Was he from the California Men's Colony, or was he a transportation officer?
Yeah, he was from the California Men's Colony. So I asked him, is that what you're going to do?
These are very important points. Okay, I apologize.
And he said, no, he says, I don't listen to that stuff. He says, as long as you give me respect, I'm going to give you respect. He says, I don't listen. Because if another officer tells me to do that, I don't listen to it. But I said, I appreciate your honesty.
Okay. Can you jump ahead to the discharge? Please jump ahead to the discharge issue.
Okay. The next day, I was discharged in the morning, and they called Coalinga to come and get me. And
what day was that specifically?
I knew there were going to be problems. That was
what day was
Saturday.
That specifically? Was that today? Saturday.
Saturday the 2nd.
The 2nd.
The hospital gave me some gifts to take back. The hospital gave me some gifts from the hospital to take back with me, a coffee mug, a mask, and some earplugs, so that the officers could not blast the music in my ears on the way back. And so they called Coalinga to come and get me. And Coalinga got there around 4 finally, and it was officer. 4 in the
afternoon or 4 in the morning?
It was 4 in the afternoon, and it was Officer Gutierrez, and Cisneros was the other officer, and he said he didn't have the soft restraints, and I said, well, I could probably get away with going without those, but what kind of van do you have? He says, I have the cage van. I said, well, that's a deal breaker. I can't go in the cage van. You have to go back and get the right van. He said, no, you're going. I said, no, I'm not. I said, the only way I'm going to go in the cage van, I told him, you're going to have to kill me. The only way. I'm not going in a cage van. I just had heart surgery. You're not going to do that to me. Doctor ordered an ADA van. You're going to go get an ADA van, or I'm not leaving here. And he says, you're going one way or another. And then they grabbed me, and they tried to take me by force, and I fought him off. And there was 2, and then there was the third, the guy from CMC tried to help, then he stopped. My level of care staff, she ran away right away, and I don't know where she went.
Her name was Miriam, correct? Her name was Miriam. She's a new level of care, correct?
Yeah, she was my level of care, who I didn't even talk to yet. But she took off somewhere. I don't know where the hell she went.
Okay, do me a favor. I need to rush you along here because we got maybe 3 more minutes, and we got to keep this file short if we're going to email it. So you've already told me the story. So Miriam, as they wrestled you in bed with these chains. Okay, we got to move this along. Okay, so they wrestled you in bed with these chains, and then you told me that Miriam, a nurse from French Hospital came in and saw them wrestling you in the bed, correct? And then she started yelling,
right.
Correct? And then
I don't know who that nurse was. Yeah, okay. I don't know who that would have. But
at that point, a decision was made. Right. So at that point, a decision was made to let you in, and they decided to go back to the hospital and get a correct van, correct?
Right. Before leaving, they dressed me up, and they chained me to a wheelchair facing the wall.
They chained you to a wheelchair, and they left you that wheelchair for several hours while they went back to the hospital to get you a van, right?
Right. And they told the officer not to let me use the bathroom.
Your level of care left you at French Hospital and went on a 4-hour or more journey with the officers.
5 hours.
To Coalinga. How many hours?
She left me for 5 hours.
For 5 hours. Your level of care left you for about 5 hours to go back to Coalinga State Hospital to get the correct van, leaving you at French Hospital in the custody of California municipality officers, correct?
Right. That's correct.
And you were not allowed to use the bathroom during those 5 hours. You were left chained to your wheelchair.
That's correct.
Correct? Okay.
That's correct.
I apologize. We need to move this along if we're going to make this box small enough to get it out in email. Now, so I just want to verify these facts with you. Now, the officers were very kind to you, the CDC officers. You said they went and got you some food, correct?
Yeah, they were nice. They brought me food, and they brought me a TV set so I could watch TV. But they said they couldn't.
They left you facing the corner of a wall, and they would not let you use the bathroom.
They pulled me back so I can look at the TV.
But they wouldn't let you. They would not unchain you or let you use the bathroom.
No, they said they couldn't. They had the officers told not to do it.
The officers told not to unchain you and not to let you use the bathroom. Now let's move along.
Yeah.
Then when they returned 5 hours later, approximately, Miriam was still with them?
Yeah, the officers came back. They took away the gifts that the hospital gave me, and they told me I could use the bathroom.
That would protect you from the loud music going back. And correct? And Miriam returned with them. Your level of care returned from this 5-hour journey?
Right.
Okay, so Miriam was then they loaded you into the van without letting you use the bathroom, and then you ended up having to urinate on yourself back to Coalinga?
Yeah, I had no choice.
Okay, now at one point in the van, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm moving along here because we've already gone too long on this file. They locked Miriam in a cage, and you told her that she was going to lose her job, correct?
Yeah, because they left me without a seatbelt.
You didn't have a seatbelt on.
If I get hurt,
you're going to lose your job, correct?
Yes.
Go ahead. Okay. And then she started yelling
if I get hurt
to put a seatbelt on you.
Yeah, she made him pull over and put a seatbelt on me.
She made him pull over and put a seatbelt on you, but not let you use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you end up peeing on yourself. How many times back to Coalinga?
3 times. I think 3 times.
3 times. You peed in the van. So if they did a DNA test on the van, your urine would be all over the van?
Yes.
If you did a DNA test on the van, your urine would be all over. Okay. Now, finally, I want to ask one last question about Dr. Powers, who's been your doctor for the last couple of years. He filed a statement with the state evaluators that there was no significant issues with your heart in terms of releasing you from Coalinga.
He told the evaluator that I did not have a serious heart condition.
Okay, and this is what we're going to end on this file, the recording file. And that's documented in the state evaluator's report?
And yes, before him, Dr. Yu was my doctor, and he said my heart was so serious, was so bad, that I was not even allowed to take Motrin. That's how serious my heart was bad. Dr. Powers' statement
that your heart was not in that serious of a condition, is not in a very serious condition. Is that documented in the state
exact words? I did not have a serious heart condition.
Okay, now
he told the evaluator that I did not have a serious heart condition. Those were his words.
And Dr. Soria, who just did surgery on you last Friday, stated that your heart is in a very serious condition. That's correct?
He said I've had a serious heart condition since 2000.
Dr. Soria, who just did surgery on you, would contradict Dr. Powers. Is that correct?
Dr. Doria said I had a serious heart condition since 2008.
Dr. Doria, D-O-R-I-A. And you just had surgery with him.
Since 2008.
Dr. Doria, 2008 what?
That's when I've had a serious heart condition ever since they implanted the defibrillator.
Oh. Dr. Doria said that you had a serious heart condition ever since they implanted the heart condition. So Dr. Doria would state that Dr. Powers' statement to state evaluators was patently incorrect, correct?
Right, totally false.
Can we end on
should
that
lose
note?
his license over it.
Well, I don't know if he would say that, but he would say that Dr. Powers' statement is incorrect. And I think that's
I
how
asked
we
him
should
what
end
would he
this
say
recording.
if a doctor said that, and he said I think he should lose his license.
I don't know if he would say that, but is there anything else you would like to add before we end this recording, who hopefully will be listened to by state legislative staff and law enforcement investigators? Is there anything you would like to add very quickly before we end this recording? And I apologize.
I'm just tired of being abused by. I'm just tired of being abused by prison staff at President Valley State Prison. That's all. But
do you believe that the entire CSH requires an investigation by outside law enforcement?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, we're going to end this recording. Please stay on the line. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we'll talk for a few moments. Let me stop this recording. Thank you very much. Hold on.